Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Captain Hydrus, and now we're gonna cover right side. Took a break there. This has significantly more amounts of. This probably has the most amount of gameplay in the entire run, and it can be pretty intimidating. But by taking safe strats and knowing certain backup strats as well, this can be mitigated. So the mechanic that I mentioned in, well, not a mechanic, but more so in a description of a mechanic. This level has an in-game timer, and basically you're jumping off the right side, and it's going to be the first instance where you're jumping through a fence, and if you release the stick too early while you are in the fence, you will, like, try to go into kid form, like, in the fence, but you won't, so you'll lose, like, a ton of speed, and you'll lose about a second every time you lose speed inside the fence itself. So yeah, the game will literally tell you if you're doing well. That's pretty decent. This first jump is kind of weird. Generally a high 57 is pretty good. That was very good. So yeah, 58-38. I'll try to explain on. Okay, so that was really bad. So that first jump, again, is really weird because you're at an angle, you're not controlling the camera and the angle of the jump itself. So generally, a 57 9x to 8x is pretty good there if you press the B button early enough and don't release the stick too early. And then when you can actually control the camera, generally you want to be aiming for is 58 3x, or if you press really early, 58 4x. It counts from the top. So the higher the number is, that means the earlier that you pressed the B button to jump off the edge. If anyone wants to know my best time for a control jump, it's like a 58-46. I pressed it so early that I was basically moving slow-mo through the air. It was kind of insane. If anyone beats that, let me know, because I'm actually interested. So that was pretty okay. Besides the last jump, I pressed B really late. So I got like a low 3x. Bordering on 2x. That was really good. That was a 40. Like, you can tell, yeah, this is probably the only level in the game where, you can definitely, if you want to grind early jump, so 2 40s in a row. Nice. I think my gold for this segment has a bunch of 40s, like, in a row. So it's very hard to beat, or very hard to save time on, mostly every run. So A07 I already covered in a separate tutorial. I'm not going to cover Ancient Skip in this run, because I don't think it's necessary at a beginner level. If you can learn it, that's great. I'll link my tutorial in the description. We're just going to cover the super safe beginner route. Ancient Skip, by the way, only saves about 5 seconds. If you die doing it, immediately do the other route, because you have to wait for the cycle to commit to the skip anyways, so yeah. So if you're going fast, don't worry too much about how fast you get to the turnstile there. Hit that switch so you can get up here. Completely ignore this. We're gonna be going over here. So if you feel super uncomfortable about this, about hitting that thing, you can go right here, then hit this. Or if you feel super risky, you can delay your jump, and then if you have really good aim, once you cross your lights up, press the ZR button, and keep your aim steady, and you should be able to hit that. That's a bit of a harder shot, so if you're not comfortable with that, take the one on the left. It's not that much slower. Hit the switch to activate the elevator. Boost pad up. You cannot go over that gap. If you perform Ancient Skip when you do the Death Warp, you'll have enough base momentum from the spawning animation to make it over there. But yeah, you cannot make it over there normally, so just hit the switch, and then we're gonna go to the end. Make sure not to hit one of these big blue guys. You can make it across here with only hitting that one switch, but if you feel like you're gonna, you know, fall off, or you get hit, just hit it again. There you go. Dive into it to immediately touch the top, and there's A07. Not much to it. But yeah, my ancient skip tutorial will go in the description. I'll try to link it. Right here, it's just gonna give us a notification. Hey, you completed A line. Congratulations. Just a small text box. Nothing really too much. It's just 2 text boxes. So yeah, Studio 3, pretty around the mill. Nothing too special. There's no mechanics of the fence. You just like the pro, first on the ground, jump, and the grind starts. Need to check my Twitch chat. Oh, no one's in it. Cool. Yeah, generally interacting with your chat is pretty important. I'm not doing that right now, because I'm trying to remain on topic, because I do tend to go onto tangents a little bit, so. Luckily, this is like a 3 live set, so nothing too, too out there. So yeah, now I'm actually kind of going at full speed. That entire segment was my average, pretty much. So that would be really good on a good run, but I'm not doing a attempt. I'm just kind of explaining. So yeah, Mashins to unlock the line. And then these next 2 levels are... the next 3 levels, I believe, are entirely gameplay. This you have to be really careful in, because if you hold the ZR button too much, you're going to die, and you're going to get sent back to the beginning. And the beginning... The 2 blocks in the beginning, again, are cycle-based, but you don't have to do the optimal cycles when you're starting out. All you have to do is adapt. It's just the most important concept in speedrunning in general. What I like to do here is, in the beginning, I just like to jump from the spawn pad so I can get out as far onto the grade as possible. Don't jump, just walk down. When you're, like, in the middle here, hold the ZR button, spam B up the wall. If you're fast enough, you can make left side, but if you miss it, it's fine. Go up here, make the ground. Don't do that. Sometimes you'll get hit by that enemy if you're a bit too slow, but pretty much what you want to do is inflate the sponge enough to where you can jump on it, or jump into it. And make sure your feet are inked. If your feet are not inked when you're coming to this jump, you are going to fall. So just make sure you have that as a precaution. That robot is on a cycle. So that was really risky going on the right there. I was like a millimeter away from being... Because if you touch that guy, you are going to get butted off, and it's basically a GG, and you have to restart from the beginning. When you're right here-ish, you can ink the ground to go a tiny bit faster, but I wouldn't do it, because the shot variance at the end here can vary. Hit the sponge here. Go on top of these 2 sponges. Now, if that guy sees you really early, when you always jump, his bullet will always hit you, and you will fall. That's why people like to go on the side of that sponge there, so the little helicopter guy will not see you, and he'll not deflate the sponge that you're on. Yeah, shoot a tiny bit on the wall, jump, get on top, do this. Don't jump while you do this, while you hit that balloon. If you're on your last shot, definitely do not jump, because you're basically, treating up to RNG at that point. So... So this one, there's also a lot of misconceptions. Use the jet. It makes getting the bottom row and reaching faraway crates much easier. Makes it so much easier. Also, this level's on a timer, And it has multiple lives, I believe. So go to the left, select the jet. I'm going to cover the optimal strat here if you want to learn it. But generally, you just want to work your way to the top. And try not to get hit by the green wheel things. I'm going to attempt to kind of show. But basically, when that big crate right there meets the little crate, you want to... You want to do that, and basically by holding it in place, when you do that, it mitigates the shot energy, so it's the same. So the entire bottom row is mitigated. Hit this, then jump. If you're early enough, you can hit that crate that's right above the pause button, but I'm trying to explain right now, so I didn't hit it. If you don't hit it, it's fine. You can just go to the right side and get it as a backup. If you fall down, it's fine as well. And notice how basically the only, there's only one crate that you would miss on the bottom. And you get that crate as you're going up to the top ink rail. Yeah, if you miss that, that one crate as you're jumping up to the second rail, just hang out a bit on the right side and catch it as it's coming along in a cycle. Catch the crate from the bottom. Now it's just this one left. And the cool thing about the jet is, if you miss any... If you feel like you've missed any crates coming up, you can shoot most, if not all, crates from the top rail. I probably explained that horribly, but that level is really just about practice. And how I explain it can seem easy, but it's really not, and I've lost too many runs to it, or to that level. So, just definitely practice it, and just try to adapt. Watch the two any % runs, because they use probably the fastest route for that level. I try to explain it there, to the best of my ability. But, like, how I view tutorials, it's more so, like, I want to present the fastest options to the player. If it seems viable to do. So, yeah, I picked the Octobrush. It's the easiest to one-shot the crate near the end. You're just going to want to go to the turnstile, do a short hop onto the boost pad, and we're just going to brush run all the way to the end. And basically, you're not going to do anything else other than that until we reach the very end. We start swiping. And after this crate, you're going to want to throw a curling. Like this. The angle can be a bit weird at times, but we'll get better at it. Full hop onto this boost pad. When you hit the boost pad, hold the B button and then hold forward. If you don't hold the B pad, you will die because you won't close the gap. It's like this. Naturally, you're at the bottom. You have to be kind of quick about this. With these basic strats, you should get like a mid-4, mid-5-ish. Sometimes the fall-off range of the Octobrush here is kind of inconsistent, so I kind of just like to mash the ZR button, because if you miss any one of those crates, you cannot go back and get it again. Don't jump off here. Go to the left. Swipe this. Swipe twice. And that was really close, because I wasn't looking at my ink at all. Even with, like, basic baby strats, you should still be able to complete the level relatively easily as long as you don't make too many mistakes. No text here. And girl power, we do death abuse, but there's a very specific thing with the DA in this. I'm just going to call them DAs because it's probably better for an abbreviation. So nothing too much of the menu here. You're just going to select the burst bomb because it's the fastest menu inking wise to the door. So just hit right and then A. Ground, and there you go. So optimally you choose the curling here if you actually play Girl Power, because you're going down a straight line basically to the jump pad, and you optimally pick up the T-Tech, but that time save is so minimal it doesn't even matter. So you just choose what weapon you're comfortable with. So the main thing I want to explain here is like the fence slow down mechanics. So I've noticed the most consistently is if you go through like the black bar in this fence, you will experience a lot of slowdown for no reason. So what I like to do is go between like, I like to go between the empty bars on this part of the fence or right here-ish. So whatever you prefer. So I'll try to demonstrate a bad jump. So that worked for some reason. But I've also tended to notice if you press really early, like that. So if I press really early and I try to go through the fence, I will actually go into kid form, like kind of, and I'll lose a ton of speed. And you notice I didn't die immediately there, so yeah, trying to go for optimal early jumps, you shouldn't be going through that black part of the fence because it won't work. So yeah, definitely just go through, when you're at like a decent level for this category and you are going for more early jumps, definitely go through the left or right side like this. Well, that was dumb. Because yeah, even like, I've gone through like this part of the fence before and I've still gotten slow down, so it's really all about execution. I just prefer the right side, so. Also, I noticed if you go above the fence, you'll never touch the fence at all, and you won't really get that slowdown. Yeah, like if you get the slowdown, I did a super early jump there, but the only reason I didn't get the slowdown is because I went through that part of the fence that was consistent. So, yeah. I play it kind of safe there, but whatever. Can't lose a second. I love the jangle, dude. I never get tired of it. Okay, so this is where the only time you would visit Cumber optimally in the run. That's why I named the split Cumber. Because after you unlock J-Line, you're just gonna mash, and then you're gonna take it back to the subway. They're gonna go up, talk to Cumber. He's gonna give you 8,000 credits. Why we do this? So when I was originally routing this, it's faster to skip the last 2 levels, you know, in right side. And what you do in 8% normally is like, because in 8% doesn't really matter because your money count should be fine regardless. But the 2 levels above me are like Matchmaster and the Ancient Boss Fight, and they cost about 6,000 and 9,000 to skip respectively. And they're very expensive. So we don't go there immediately because we don't have enough money, obviously. So what we're gonna do is, thanks. We're just gonna talk to Cumber. He's gonna get us 8,000 credits. And the next 2 levels are gameplay based. And hopefully that'll buff us up enough to the point where we can skip these 2. It's basically the preliminary stage, if you will. So yeah, the movement shouldn't be too hard, but now we're gonna go to J04. I might cut out some of that fluff because I was running on for maybe a little bit too long. If you want to choose the 10 umbrella, and let's go. So basically, the gimmick of this level is, or the stage, is you have to. Enemies appear based on a spawn timer, or not a spawn timer, but the 2 enemies in the back, they won't spawn unless you are really close to them. The 4 enemies in front of you, they will spawn, or the 6 enemies in front of you, they'll be there regardless. And then the last 2 enemies won't spawn until you kill all of the enemies. So generally what people like to do is go to the back first and get rid of those guys, because they can be really annoying, because you're basically standing on a bunch of crates, and if they explode the crates beneath you while you're staying in them, you'll die and you'll have to restart from the beginning. So this is kind of my little movement strategy. Ink the square there, take a jump, hit that guy. Sometimes if you're really quick, you can, if you press the shoot button early enough, you can also get the second guy before he spawns. You don't have to shoot him twice, but usually it's really inconsistent. I don't always get it. So this section is kind of weird. If they see you too early, they'll start shooting beneath you, and you'll die. So I just kind of like to go into here, take the first guy. You want to aim on the crate under the enemy. If you aim any farther, like, forward, you're only just going to hit the crate that's connected to it. That won't make the enemy fall. So aim is pretty important here, and it's obviously going to come down to practice. If you get hit too much by, if you get hit too much by the bullets, it can be really detrimental, because the two enemies at the end are going to shoot a bunch of 10 missiles. And if you're not quick enough at killing them, they're just going to dodge you around, you're going to be out of armor, and it's going to be awful. If you want, you can go down, I think, to the left hole in the stage, which is like a grating, and you can get armor there. If you feel that uncomfortable. So, right here, it doesn't matter if you hit the back or front first, but it's a lot riskier. It's a lot riskier to start with the front guy, because if you miss the second guy, and if you try to, like, go on to where he spawns, it's not a bunch of crates, so the 10 missiles are landing on the crates, and you'll die. So I like to start shooting. So yeah, 2 shots will kill these guys. So I like to start shooting this guy when there's like a green ball about the size of a nickel, and usually I can follow up with a second shot. So like this, turn around, boom, easy, and that will ensure you can kill them before they start to dodge roll. So pretty easy. Yeah, as much of the harder game mechanics I can explain, it's just gonna come down to like asking questions and how willing you are to put practice into the game and improve. So yeah, J05. I will explain the skip here, because it can be a bit confusing, and it's a pretty decent time save. It saves about 15 seconds, over 10 seconds more than the inkjet skip, because it saves an entire section. Dodge roll with the turnstile. First spawn on the floor here, since you're kind of far away. You only have to hit that switch once, by the way. If you hit it too many times, you're just going to block your entire path to the end. So, I just like to hit it once. Start some dodge rolls. If I'm low in ink, go into the ink. Dodge roll off the edge, and there we go. So yeah, make sure you hit that, make sure you only hit that switch. If you hit this switch, it's gonna make traversing these lines a lot slower. Because notice, if you don't hit that switch, it's basically just a perfect line to the end. A little bit of an exploit, but it's a fun one, so nothing really too spectacular. I'll try to spend a couple minutes to 1 minute hitting, explain the skip here. You have 5 lives, so it's very easy to practice. So basically, a skip they're going to be doing is once you reach the crest of that hillish, you jump, hold up right, you do a full hop by holding the B button, hold up right, and then you'll barely get on there. And then you just have to go boom, boom, hit the switch, and then you're home free. Because I normally have to go through that level, then that level, then that level, but this skip saves 1 level. So I'm going to show the casual route. So you don't have to hit that. Don't hit that because it makes that a bit weirder. You do dodge rolls here if you want, but if you don't feel comfortable, it's fine. When you're about parallel to this switch, shoot it once or twice. Twice is optimal, but sometimes shot RNG can get in your way. Make sure not to hit it too many times, or else this will happen. If this happens, just do that, jump, so it'll delay you going forward and hit it. The key is to just minimize you hitting the switch as much as possible. That was really close. That should never happen to you. I'm just bad. So reverse spawn, there you go. And that's the casual route. Pretty simple. Now I'm going to show the skip. Yeah, pretty much, you just want to dodge roll into this. Hold ZL. When you feel like you're about to fall, because if you're below the crest of the hill, of the anchor rail hill, when you jump, you will not get enough height. You can usually tell if you're too late or too early. I wish I had my controller cam on, but my webcam isn't working. So, I'm going to show a successful skip. So yeah, right about here-ish, we're going to... That was too late. We waited too late. So we were below the crest of the hill when we did that. If you missed that, it's fine. I believe if you get it immediately second try, it's still faster, but anything after second try, it's going to be slower. So just a heads up. So yeah, basically, right before I started falling, I jumped, held up right, and you might want to look at your control stick while you do this, or your controller, and you'll basically get it every time. I notice if you tend to buffer the direction before you jump, it's a lot more inconsistent. So yeah, just do my method. It's probably easier. See, I looked like I was not going to hit it, but I still hit it, because the direction I hold is so powerful there. Okay, now I'm going to complete the level with the skip, hopefully. That was really sketch, but I still got it, so... Cool. And once you actually hit the skip, you just go immediately to the top line, hit the switch twice, hit twice again, there you go. That is D05. So now we are on to the final part of right side. Third to last thing in the game. Pretty much you want your head to touch the top of the thing, so you can just immediately go to that transition screen, and then you're done. That was pretty good. Pretty good segment. So this menu is also pretty important. Basically, you're gonna mash through the phone talking to you, and now Captain Cullfish is gonna ask you what you want. He's asking you what Iteration 3 looks like, and you're basically giving him like a criminal photo characterization. So you can start drawing. You have to move down like this. So once you move that text box, don't press A. Make sure you when you hear that sound of going down like this, then press A. It's very much a timing thing. Match the hair color. I think that's the skin color, and this is the eye color. Then you go down once again, and there you go. Go through that. Back to train. All right. So now since we have enough money, we should have enough money. We didn't die, so at least in this recording. Yeah, from here, you're just going to go up, or right up again. We're going to go to JO2. And yes, the dreaded Matchmaster level, we do skip this because we do have enough cash. Just like the Squeezer, hold fire. There you go. So, you'll never drown here. You'll pretty much never drown here. It's different from phase 3. Like, there is water beneath you, but like, no matter if you touch the floor or not, you're still gonna drown, or you're still gonna hit the death line regardless. So basically, the time save with this segment comes down to how well you execute the menu and the back to train part. And it's a three liver, so pretty short, pretty sweet. That was my fault. Yeah, definitely try to analyze know, what you're doing wrong. It's definitely a good path to improvement. Yeah, now we just skipped, you know, it's such a long level, a level that takes about 2 minutes, I think. So, Jail 1 is kind of unique because, you play as an inkjet, and an inkjet has different physics compared to a normal inkling. So, I will try to explain how that works. Yeah, obviously this is faster than doing the boss fight because you can't skip the cutscenes here. If you could skip the cutscenes here, it'd be a lot different. Especially if you nail all the fast strats like first try. Yeah, this boss fight is really, really about aim. It can be frustrating to beginners, so yeah. Be sure you're holding ZL when you do this. And go forward and tap the B button. That's it. This ensures that you don't rise in the air like this when you fall. And that loses a lot of time because it takes longer to fall as a result. You hear the little exhaust sound. Just hold ZL, tap the B button, there you go. And this is a much more consistent method for getting early jumps with the inkjet, in general. Also, yeah, if you're confused about what money amount you need during any part of the run, look at Hash Rice's run. Because it's pretty solid for the time. For his any percent death abuse run, because I haven't uploaded any of my world records yet. Yeah, make sure you don't press A again because you basically won't be able to skip this and you'll be just, you know, shot out of luck with 3,000 credits, so just be careful. And there you go. As the 2 most expensive levels in the game skipped. There you go, boys. Pretty neat. Routing that was pretty fun. And then you're gonna lock the final line in the game, and then you're good. So yeah, when I get to the first text box of the phone speaking, I will end the recording, take a break, then we'll be back to escape. Pulling the B button is pretty important there. So you just get that maximum height and touch the top of the thing. Now, because this begins Escape, and there's some decently long cutscenes in Escape, this is where I'll end it here. Hopefully, I didn't go into as much fluff with right side as I did left side. A lot of the basic mechanics were kind of explained. Next episode will be covering Escape. You skip everything in Escape, including the final boss, besides Phase 4. If you're not comfortable with Phase 4, you can obviously skip it, but if you're interested to know, it is slightly faster to complete Phase 4 if you don't die because the level is so short. And the method to death abuse is very slow. In general. So I will see you until next time. Thanks for watching.